Virtual stretch clinic that helps you move the body to still the mind. My name is Banu Suresh. I'm your host for this program. And as you can see, once again, we have a full house today right here in the studios. We have some amazing talent, not only in front of the camera, but behind the scenes as well, behind the cameras and in the control room as well. We have a wonderful, wonderful crew. Before I go ahead and introduce our cast here, our participants, I would like to first of all thank our amazing crew here to be here for us to make this episode happen today. In the control room, our director, Fauzia Najjar. Fauzia, thank you for offering to direct today. On camera, we have Tiffany Winter and Sasha Hori. Thank you so much, Tiffany and Sasha, for being here for us. Without you guys, we wouldn't get the amazing shots that we did yesterday, and you were all here yesterday as well, so I'm sure we'll get some wonderful shots today. Now, for the big moment, you're wondering who all these faces are. Two of them are new faces. You haven't met them. You've met two others. One of them you're very familiar with. Josiane Hurd to my extreme left. Josiane, tell our viewers, remind our viewers a little more, or if you have any other words of wisdom, share that with us. Share them with us. Tell us a little more about yourself. Remember, every episode we have new viewers.
That's true.
So don't just agree with me. Tell us a little more about you.
Okay. Well, I've done a past experience with a lot of different activities like martial art, boxing, sailing, dancing, and others.
I love that. I love the combination.
In between, the link was yoga, of course.
Right.
And I suggest and I recommend and I would advise for anyone to stretch, to relax. It's so relieving for any kind of ailment, any kind of stress especially.
Right.
It's one of the big problems today, stress in any kind of shape.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, stress.
I think we all have, that is a very common, I wouldn't say it's an ailment, but it's a very common condition that we all struggle with. Mm-hmm. How to get rid of stress. Of course, it's not really possible to totally get rid of it because, you have to cope with everyday life. But yes, every once in a while, we need that little shot in the arm. We need that little me time, which is why we're here.
Calming down.
That's right. That's right. That was beautiful. Thank you for bringing that up, Josiane. Before I go ahead and introduce the two new faces to you, our viewers, I'd like to reintroduce Roberta Newman. Did I say that right? Yes.
Yes, you did.
Roberta, before we started today's taping, we had a little bit of a brief chat, and you were talking about how you went home feeling a little sore the last time.
Yes, I did.
Any thoughts?
Well, it's a good sore. It's not like I'm in agony, like I hurt myself or something. I'm using muscles that I haven't really used, and I should be.
You didn't believe you had them, right?
Yeah, forgot all about them. So it's a pleasure to be here again and get to try it out.
It's a pleasure to have you back.
Do my best.
You're amazing. It's just the attitude, and that's what yoga is all about. I think we have to constantly remind ourselves and our viewers, yoga is not just about sitting in lotus position and chanting Om. It's not about putting your foot behind your neck. It's not about flexing your body. It's about flexing your mind. It's about enhancing your attitudes. And if you can acknowledge that maybe you need to improve in some aspects, maybe you enjoy certain stretches a little more. If you can acknowledge both your strengths and weaknesses, you're already 3/4 there. So welcome back.
Thank you.
It's really wonderful to have you.
Thank you.
I'm going to save Nicole for the last because Nicole is going to come back tomorrow and talk us through a stretch session. Oh, well, you know what? Let me not give too much away just yet. Sheila Blue Tilly. Sheila, thank you so much for coming here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. We don't know anything about you.
Okay, well, I'm an educator, I'm a dancer, I'm a photographer, I'm an artist.
Wow.
I've always found yoga very challenging because, although I dance and I'm very flexible, yoga is very challenging for me. I can't do those moves, my balance. So I'm really looking forward to, experience a whole new realm of discovering my body's potential.
You use the right word too. Talking about challenges, sometimes people may have the impression that, yoga is not for me. It's just another form of exercise. I've read articles where people have referred to yoga as feel-good nonsense. That's fine. They're entitled to their opinion. But if I could get one person who has a negative opinion about yoga to come and stretch here with us, I'm sure we can change their view, right? But you're right. It can be challenging, and it's a happy challenge. Talk about happy pain. It's a happy challenge. You want to challenge yourself, right? Before I give too much away, I'm just going to have Nicole Olsen introduce herself, and then we'll talk about what she's going to do tomorrow, in tomorrow's episode. Nicole, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a yoga teacher. I was certified at Sonic Yoga in Manhattan. I'm so grateful to be able to have had that experience and to be able to practice yoga in my past and with you here today. And it's amazing what it can do for your body. So
It does. And it changes our mind, too. It changes our thinking as well, right?
It does. It makes, I believe, makes myself and I think others more calm and just more centered.
We learn to be more forgiving, too, not only of ourselves, not only of others, we also learn to forgive ourselves. And you'll watch, if you've been watching us in the last 227 episodes, 226 episodes, you'll notice we do make mistakes. We're all at different stages. Not only in our life, we're also at different stages in our stretching. Some of us may be very strong in back bends. Others may be very strong in forward folds. Somebody may do beautiful twists. Someone else may have good balance. We all have our good and bad points. The good thing is we know that we have our strengths and weaknesses. We work at it. We try to make the most of our strengths. We come to terms with our weaknesses, and we start moving ahead. We come out of a posture, get right back in. Now, before we get up and start stretching, I believe, Josiane, you asked for sciatica. Or let's do the chest openers today, maybe tomorrow or the day after. We'll do the forward folds. The sciatica sequence might involve some forward folds. We do have a little bit of housekeeping. If and only if you come on this show and stretch with us right here in front of the cameras, we will share with you. We will give you a copy of my third title, Yoga Secrets. Whichever camera picks it up, we have amazing camera people, so I'm not too worried. We will also, this is a box of 10 ailment-specific cards. And if you don't have time to do the full sequence today, you might just want to do the arthritis-specific sequence or the asthma. Arthritis-specific would involve knee benders. The asthma sequence would involve chest openers. So you can actually target that region of your body that needs your attention today. We also have a postcard with 48 simple common denominator stretches. A low impact, no hijinks, no jumping around, climbing on walls, or any of that stuff. We also have a fridge magnet. So put this fridge magnet, stick this on your fridge. Postcard goes in your briefcase or handbag. Don't give yourself any excuses not to stretch. Yogaxpress is filmed in the studios of Manhattan Neighborhood Network. We air 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 1:30 in the afternoon Eastern Time. That's 1:30 New York time. On Time Warner 57, RCN 84, and FiOS 35. Ladies, if we are ready to do the back bends, and some of the back bends may be a little bit intense, but I think we all, Roberta, you're fairly new, so I will talk us through it.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
learn to forgive yourself. Learn to forgive yourself. If you're in pain, if you're in really dangerous pain, you want to come out of it.
Okay.
But other than that, we can just talk ourselves through it, and we'll do it very carefully. We're going to stand up, and I am going to keep my little cheat sheet ready, so we do our back bends in a very organized way. Now, we do have our little postcards. If you have your postcard, if you've come on the show before, or you've been to my website, yogaxpress.com, yogaxpress.com. We spell it the American way. In North America, we don't know how to spell, so we don't have an E before the X. So just be mindful. You spell it right, you have the whole sequence right there. The first back bend we're going to do, let's stagger ourselves. Nicole and Josiane, if you want to come forward, And both of you stay in the middle of the mat. Heels are together, toes are slightly apart. Now, we all have different styles of teaching, and it's perfectly okay if your teacher has taught you to keep your toes together, bring your heels apart, that's fine. For us, our body feels comfortable in the studios, keeping the heels together, that's a natural way. Place your palms in front of your chest. Press your palms together. Raise your elbows. As we always remind you, when you raise your elbows, your mind stays in the moment. The moment you flop your elbows, your mind starts wandering. Now, Hasta Uttana. Hasta is hands, Uttana is raised. Hands raised. So you can imagine what the posture looks like. Inhale, raise your arms overhead. Hold it right there. Once your arms are way overhead, wiggle your biceps behind your ears. Tilt your pelvis forward just a little bit. Tighten your low back muscles and tilt back. Tilt your head back just a little. So the pelvis comes forward, your head goes back, and hold. Your low back is tightening, so you want to strengthen your low back. Keep holding. Exhale. Bring your palms out by the side of your legs. Exhale and relax. Since we're only doing back bends, unless we do a very intense back bend, we're not going to do forward folds to have any release. Right now, these are very mild back bends. Progressively, we'll move to a little deeper bends. Now, the next back bend is going to be pretty intense. It's called Tiryang Asana. Tiryang is reverse inversion. So since this camera is lit up, camera 1, we're going to turn to the right. Let's face the right front corner of our mats. And again, we'll stagger ourselves. Now, you're fine where you are, Roberta. Bring your feet out about 10 to 12 inches apart. Now, if you feel very strong today, you might want to bring your feet really close. But I usually try to play it safe. My feet are usually about hip width apart. Now you're going to say, if I have big hips, can I go wider? Sure. If you have big hips, that means you have more weight that you want to carry. So that's why I keep my feet fairly wide apart. You can imagine why now. Now, if you're very tired too, there's another reason for you to keep your feet further apart. Now let's all stay at midpoint. Bring your toes in. So put your brakes on. The insides of your feet are parallel to each other. Place your palms on your buttocks. Now, for our participants here, in case any of you feel blindsided, please feel free to watch the monitor. It's fine. So we can all follow each other and stay together in tandem. Place your palms on your buttocks. So your palms are flat on your buttocks. Tighten your gluteals. Gluteals are your buttock muscles. Push your elbows back. So when you push your elbows back, your shoulders open up. So you already have a little bit of a massage in your trapezius, in the base of your neck, in the back of your neck. Now, inhale, lift your chin up. Once you get past midpoint, exhale and glide your palms down the back of your legs. Bend your knees if you have to. Keep exhaling. Tighten your low back and hold it. When we say hold, it's always hold your posture, not your breath. Inhale, let's come up. And this is when I definitely need to heed Josiane's advice. Let's do a little bit of an upper body twist just to release any tension in your back. You could also do a forward fold, but then you're starting to go in the other direction. We want to stay with the back bends. Let's relax. We have another back bend, slight bit of a back bend, low back bend, which is halfway towards a seated posture. So bring your feet out. So bring your right foot forward, left foot goes back. Ashwa Sanchala. Ashwini is horse. Sanchala. Ashwa Sanchala, like a horse or equestrian. Now, if you're very tall, everyone here is taller than I am, so I would urge you to bring your feet further apart. You want to get more distance between your feet so that when you go down, you don't hurt yourself because we're coming down on our knee. Keep exhaling. Bend both your knees. Bring your left knee to the floor. Now, when you're actually getting into this posture in transition, there's a different approach. When we're doing it by itself, you have to come in a very different kind of manner, which is more safe for us. So wiggle your right foot forward. Now, uncurl your toes in the left foot and dip your hip. So when you dip your hip, you will feel a delicious stretch in the front of your upper left thigh. Does everyone feel that? Yes. Josiane, you have to feel that. You have got a very deep stretch So do you. That's a dancer in you coming out, showing right there. You're doing great. Very nice. Nice. I expected. Nicole, you definitely would be comfortable doing this. Now, let's keep dipping. This time, what we're going to do, just so you can experience a little bit of a strengthening of the back, we're going to go as deep as possible. Don't worry about, all those little warnings. In yoga, we take a few liberties. It's okay for your knee to go just a little bit over your toes. I know, Nicole, you're going to slap me on the wrist for this. I know some schools tell you, don't let your knees go past your toes. But you know what? If your body allows you, do it. Just be safe. Now, once you've got your knee way forward, you want to inhale, bring your chest out, bring your chin up, and hold. Inhale, ease off a little bit, and then we're going to switch legs as gracefully as we can. So place your palms beside your right foot, curl your toes in the left foot, lift your left knee off, take the right foot back, place the right knee on the floor, bring the left foot forward. Now, if you notice, Josiane and Sheila, both of them have socks on, but they're very smart. Both of them have got rubber dots under their socks. If you insist on wearing socks when you're doing your yoga practice, please be mindful, be respectful of your body. Make sure you don't slip and hurt yourself. They've got rubber dots, so these dots actually give them traction on the mat. Even if you don't have rubber dots, I'm not going to share that. I think you do. You know what you're doing. Yeah. So as long as you're safe, that's all it is. So be very mindful. You want to be careful. Keep dipping. Dip your hip. Keep exhaling. You should feel a wonderful stretch in the front of your upper right thigh. Now you want to feel the compacting of your low back. So you want to inhale, bring your chest up, and lean back just a little bit. We're all proud mares over here. No horses, all mares. Inhale, release. Let's ease off. And let's bring both our knees to the floor in cat position. Let's come down on our hands and knees. Hands are directly below the shoulders. Fingers are splayed wide apart. Knees are directly below the hips. And your toes are curled in. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to inhale. As we inhale, we're going to bring our chin, chest, and buttocks up and try to dip the middle part of our torso closer to the mat. And then as we exhale, we're going to uncurl the toes and arch the back all the way up. So let's try the inhale first. Inhale, keep your toes curled in. Inhale, lift the chin and the buttocks, dip your torso. And watch Josiane. She looks just like a cat when she does that. I love it. Josiane, you have a lot of cats at home, right? Exhale, uncurl your toes, arch your back. That's another thing too. Let's do one more to redeem ourselves. This is a wonderful undulating motion of the spine. Inhale, dip your torso, curl your toes. Very nice. I can see this dancer here, Sheila, doing it so gracefully as well. You must have cats at home, do you?
I do.
Ah, there you go. Just wait. We're going to beat you in the dog posture. I don't have dogs. Exhale, uncurl your toes, arch your back. Relax, and let's come to neutral position. Let's stay in neutral position for just a few seconds. I'd like to just point out something. A lot of yoga postures, especially in our program, in our sequence, they emulate nature, animals, and trees, animals, birds. So if you just watch nature, you'll get a good sense of what we're trying to do. The way nature helps relax herself, we try to emulate that and try to learn from nature. So let's all come up on our knees. The cat posture is called Marjarya Asana. Marjarya Asana is literally, Marjarya means cat. Now, once again, I'm going to stagger myself, go back a little bit, and let's all angle a little bit to face the front left of the mat. So let's all get a little bit at an angle so our viewers can see us in profile when the cameras pick us up. Now, we're going to go back in camel position, so we're going to glide our hands down the back of our buttocks, and we'll explain it to you before we actually do it. And we're going to reach for, the right hand will reach for the right heel, left hand reaches for the left heel. If you're not able to make the connection today, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up over it. The idea is to do the best you can. If you cannot reach your heels today, that's all right. What you want to do is still keep the contact with your body. Don't want to suspend your hands in midair. That's when tension builds up. Also remember, if you curl your toes in, yes, there's a huge plus because your heels are closer to your hands. But the downside is there's more pressure on your knees. So I would much rather, as we grow older, we want to be a little more careful about our knees. I would much rather keep my feet flat and not have my hands reach my heels. I don't want the pressure on my knees. Now, keep your knees about hip width apart. Now, if you keep your knees really close together, yes, you're going to feel more, it's going to be more challenging. You're going to feel more of a stretch. But also, if you're fairly new to the stretch, you want to be mindful. So bring your knees out a little bit. Keep your feet flat if you can. Palms are on the buttocks. It's almost very similar to Tiryanga, except we're doing it on our knees. Inhale, the chin up. Open up your chest, take your shoulders back. Exhale, glide your palms down the back of your legs. Right hand reaches for the right heel. Left hand reaches for the left heel. Once you've made that connection, tilt your head back and tilt your pelvis forward.
7 minutes.
Thank you. And hold. Hold it right there. Engage your low back muscles. Strengthen your low back. We have about 7 minutes. We should be able to take you through a few more back bends, at least 4 or 5. Inhale, bring your right hand and then your left hand to your buttock. Come up and then bring your head back. So once your hand leaves your heels, only then you bring your head back. Now we have about 6.5 minutes from the time we got the 7-minute warning. Let's all sit on our heels. So that one is called Ustra Asana. Ustra is camel in Sanskrit. Ustra, yes. Ustra, U-S-T-R-A. Actually, there's a kind of a Sanskrit, with all the umlaut and all that, but I'm not a linguist, so I don't know how to say that. But Ustra means camel. Please sit down on your heels, your feet are flat. Place your hands, your right palm and then your left palm behind you. We're going to take you through a posture called Supta Vajra, supine, diamond. Supta is supine, Vajra or Vaira is diamond. Very gently lower your right elbow and then your left elbow to the floor. When both the elbows are down, tilt your head back. When your head goes back, resist the temptation, because sometimes what happens is when we tilt our head back, the knees come off of the floor. Resist the temptation to lift your knees off of the floor, because when you do that, you're putting pressure on your ankles. Tilt your head back and hold. Hold your posture, not your breath. Keep breathing. Keep your elbows close to each other. Very nice. Oops. That's okay. Get right back in. If you come out of a posture, that's okay. We're going to come up anyway. So press with your palms very gently. Let's come up. You must have gone really deep into the posture. And let's come up. Now this is a little bit of an intense back bend, so let's just fold over just a little bit, just to ease any tension in your back.
Oh, that
Feels good, doesn't it? Let's inhale, because if we constantly do only back bends, inhale, let's come up. If we do only back bends, once in a while the back tightens so much that it needs a little bit of a release.
Yes.
And even if I forget, Josiane won't let me. Now, we are already in a position that will readily take us into pigeon or kapotas, and kapot is pigeon. We are on our knees. Just glide your left leg all the way back. Take your left leg back. Curl your toes in first, and then that'll help you push your knee way back. And then in order to bring your hip to the floor, you might want to sit down on the right side of your hip first and wiggle your right foot forward. And once your right foot comes as far forward as it can today, you want to center your buttocks. So you want to sit in the middle. You don't want to lean to any one side. You want to center yourself. So use your hands. Use your hands to push yourself up. Keep your elbows nice and straight and hold. Very nice. Now, if you want to challenge yourself further, you could always bring your right foot all the way forward. But remember, the traditional way is actually to get pressure under the groin by putting your heel under your groin. That actually, massages your inner organs. If it hurts, by all means, bring your foot. Be careful, though, okay? So now, if you want to fold over, let's exhale and fold. This is just to give us a little bit of relief in the back. Let's inhale, come up, and let's switch legs as gracefully as we can. Swing your left leg forward, take your right leg all the way back. We have about 3, I think we should be able to go. Take your right leg. Now, as we all know, we all have our good and bad sides. This side of my body cooperates just a little more. I don't feel much pain. Very nice. Yeah, very graceful. Yeah, keep going. You're doing fine. and you have jeans on too, you really challenge yourself, don't you? Now, you want to feel the back bend. So here's why don't you sit down? Sit down. You don't, your foot is way forward. You don't want to bring it that far forward. So just sit that way. I want you to feel the back bend. Let's inhale, bring your chest out. Just feel the strengthening of your low back. Exhale, fold over. This is a series about back bends today, so if you don't feel the low back strengthening, then we're not really achieving much. So it doesn't matter if you're not in the full posture. Let's make sure we get some kind of back strengthening. Inhale, let's come up. And let's all come in prone position. We have prone postures are amazing for strengthening your back. So let's come down on our belly. We're going to glide up. 3, 2, great, thank you. Now, press your palms down on the floor. Keep your forehead down. Keep your feet flat. Inhale and lift your chin and chest. Press with the tops of your feet. Inhale and lift. Use your low back muscles to lift. Now, if you want to test the strength of your low back, take your palms off of the floor, just like Josiane's doing right now. Very nice. And hold. Place your palms back on the floor. In fact, bring your hands out in front of you. The posture we just came out of is Bhujang or Cobra. Bring your arms out. Palms are facing each other. We're going to take you through a posture called Boat or Navasan. Palms are facing each other. Feet are flat. Inhale, lift your knees and your chest and your arms off of the floor. Inhale, strengthen your low back and lift. And it doesn't matter if you don't go too high. The idea is to strengthen your low back. Exhale, release. Reach for the left ankle with the left hand, and the right hand reaches for the right ankle. Chin is on the floor. Inhale. This is Archer's Bow or Dhanurasana. Inhale, lift your chin and your knees off of the floor. And you might notice, if you're watching us, for some of us, for me anyway, one leg goes higher than the other. That means there's an imbalance in my body. And I'm willing to acknowledge that. I'm going to work at it. Exhale and release. Let's come up in seated position. And I'd like to thank our amazing crew today. Thank you so much for giving us this chance to stretch for our viewers in front of the cameras. Our director, Fauzia Najjar, camera person, Tiffany Winter, and Sasha Hori, thank you so much. Rich, thanks for these amazing lights and the studio settings. On behalf of Nicole Olsen, Roberta Newman, Sheila Blue Tilly, I remembered both your names, and Josiane Hurd. This is Banu Suresh signing off, and you are watching Yogaxpress. Stay with us, stretch with us, same time tomorrow. We'll see you then.